Good morning to you all. Today we start the first lecture in medical terminology. Medical terminology is the terms and the names that you are going to come across during your life career as pharmacists. So everything in the hospital, in the pharmacy, materials, tools, your body parts, your organs, everything has two types of names. One, the common name, and one, the medical name. You have intestines, you have enteral. You have stomach, you have gastro. You have blood, you have hemo or hemato. And most of the medical terms are either mostly Greek or Latin. Greek or Latin. Greek is more. And this is the textbook. This is textbook by Davy Allen Chapner. This is 9th edition. You can buy it through Amazon if you like. However, you can use edition 8 because the difference between edition 9 and 8 is very slight. Maybe does not exceed 5%. So both of them are okay. If you are a student who likes to be updated, go for 9. If you are a student who is normal student, you can go for 8, and both will do. Chapter 1 is basic word structure. Each word in any language is usually consisting of parts. Let's say you say success, successful, successfully, unsuccessful, you have to make some additions. Suffixes at the end, prefixes at the beginning, and changes name. You are successful. You are unsuccessful. Opposite. So just add prefix and the word changes. But the original part is success. The same for medical term. So this is chapter 1, the most important chapter out of the 5 chapters we are going to have during this course. Chapter 1, and it's the most important. The rest of the chapters are piece of cake and we go very quickly. But this one we have to be very slow because this is the basics here. So basic word structure of the medical term. Usually we have to study lecture by lecture to catch up with things, lecture by lecture. And we have to write, either you can write on a paper or you can write using your tablet or your laptop. But writing is something that makes things stick into your mind. Secondly, you have to review. Study the same thing 2-3 times a day and repeat it. Because medical terminology depends on memorization. Memorize. Maybe, yes, you have to understand the term, but you have to memorize the term so that when you are in the 5th year or the 4th year or in the hospital or in your pharmacy, things come to you very quickly. So memorizing. You are still young and you can memorize. These here, it's language, needs memorizing. By the end of this chapter, you as students should be able to do the following. First, divide medical term, analyze medical term, break down medical term into its basic components. When we said successful, unsuccessful, we know that the word is success. And we know the prefix un means opposite, and full makes it adjective. The same thing here. We have to break down the medical term into its basic component, which makes you understand. And here lies the understanding. And the rest is just memorizing. A very important thing is the spelling. I presume that most of the medical terms, ladies and gentlemen, you have to know the spelling and how to write them correctly. And meaningless that you know the medical term and you cannot write it. So spelling is very important. And what's important also is the pronunciation. Many times, people pronounce in a funny way, in an incorrect way. We have to pronounce in a correct way. If you tell me there is only one way to pronounce things correctly, I will say no. Because maybe the Americans, they pronounce it a little bit different. The British, even inside Britain and inside USA, sometimes there's little bit of differences. We are going to teach you in this course, that's something new, how to pronounce using two English methods or two English dialects. The American comes first, and the British, which is the original English. This is Shakespearean English. But we are not going to teach you how to pronounce the medical term in Australian or Canadian or Indian or South African or whatever. Understood? So pronunciation is very important, writing is very important, and understanding is very important. And what's important is memorizing. Okay. Vowels, what are the vowels? Very good. In every language, there are vowels. In our language, we have 3 vowels. In this language, we have 5 vowels. Some people, they add the W to these vowels. A, E, I, O, U, these are the vowels. Some people in English, they might say, okay, you can add W and even Y. But these are the basic 5. Some people make it 6 or 7. Anyhow, these are very important. And the most important vowel is which one? O, yes, because O makes things go flow. O makes things go flow. This is the lateral aspect of the nasopharynx. This way, lateral aspect, sagittal view, sideways. So this is the nasopharynx. And if you see here, nasopharynx has 8 areas where letters, English letters, are articulated, are formed and spoken. These here start from the lips and end down into your larynx here. Let's see these 8 very quickly. This is just part of how to pronounce. This makes it easier for you how to pronounce. In each language, there is this. Here we are interested in English only. So the first one, look, bilabial, you know labia, lips, bilabial, here you have 2. Labiodental, little bit back. Interdental, even back. Alveolar, post-alveolar. Palatal, the palate, the ceiling of your mouth, palatal. Velar, and gluteal. Epiglottis, glottis, gluteal, down here. So in the bilabial, we have 4 letters, starting from P, like paper. Please, when now I am going to speak these words, showing this image here or figure. When I speak it, you and yourself also try to speak it so that you know where the letter comes out from. So we have P, paper, P, paper. We have B, book, B, book. We have M, man, man. Yes? Yes, I know, and I am just repeating this very quickly because for the reasons I said earlier. Okay, I know. Then labiodental, F, then you have the lip and you have your teeth. F, which means you have the teeth and the lip. And you have very, very much, very. So you have the V. All of them from the labiodental and the labial, okay? Then we have the interdental, F and Id. See, it's your teeth and your tongue. Okay, let's continue. So we have the F and the Id. Both of them, you have your tongue and you have your teeth. Breathe, breathe, breath. What's the difference between breathe and breath? One of them is a noun and one of them is a verb. Which one is the verb? breathe, and breath. So you have eh and id. And both of them, they come out from the interdental. Then the alveolar, you have the T, the D, the S, the Z, the T, the N, and the L. Okay, let's have just very quick examples on this. T, top. Just speak it in yourself. Top. Dad. Dad. The first letter, dad. S, sad. Zebra. The wild donkey. Zebra. Butter. Butter or butter. Yeah. Knob. Knob. Light. Light. All of these come from the same area, but some of them from the beginning of the area, some in the middle, and some at the end. And then we have the post-alveolar, where you have red, should, Asia. This is not Asia. This is Asia. Asia. Pleasure. Asia. Should. Red. Red. The red, the R, you have to note because the Americans and the British, they pronounce the R differently. Then palatal. Job. Palate. Job. Yes. Job. K. Ig. Go. Maybe the same place, but a little bit difference. Job. Yes. Then cat. Go. And sing. Maybe the sing is a little bit back than go. And then finally, we have the glottal. I mean, the last area where letters can form, which you have here, health, hey, and you have O, yes, go, not the G, the O in go, go. And finally, you have uh-oh. So, uh-oh, all of them in the last area, glottal, where your larynx ends. So these are just very quick, the articulations or the places of articulation for each letter. Now let's go to the first medical term in this course, hematology. We have hemato or hemat alone, hemat, that's the root, the origin word. And we have O and we have logy. When you want to analyze a medical term, start from the end and then go to the beginning. So we start from logy, logy, which is the study of or the specialty of or the field of logy. So we start with logy and then go back to hemat. But if you want to say hematology, it's not going out from your mouth smoothly. We have to have something that smoothes this word, make it smoother. We add the vowel O. It becomes, instead of hematology, it becomes hematology. The Americans, they tell you hematology. You know, the O is somewhere disappearing and it's going up, hematology. And the British, hematology. You can still find the traces of the O in the British. So it becomes like, logy means it's a suffix, comes at the end. Hemat is the root, the original word. And then the vowel in the middle to smooth your pronunciation and makes it easier for you to get the word out of your mouth. Hematology. Listen to this. The American first and the British. Listen.
Hematology.
Hematology, the Americans. See, T-A-A. Hematology. British, and whichever you want is okay. This or that. That's the first one. Then let's go to the other one. So we have root, we have the suffix, we have the root, and we have the vowel in between. Let's go to the second one. As you see, there is no we have gastroscope. So we start with the word as to view. Microscope alone, it's a noun. It's a name of a machine, a name of an instrument. But if you say scopy, then it's the method, the process of doing things. So scope. And we go to the first. So we start with the scope and go to the beginning. Gastro. What does gastro means? Stomach. Very good. It means stomach. And it's gastro, scope. Scope, gastro, scope. No, we have to have an O so things become easier in our mouth. Gastroscope. And look, there is the word, there's the pronunciation ga, down, ga, and there is the ga, smoother. Usually the ga is better. Gastroscope. Gastroscope. Not gastroscope. Very, see, that's the Americans. Gastroscope. Gastroscope, not ga. Gastroscope. Sometimes this needs practice. Gastroscope or gastroscope. Gastrin, gastrin. Many people, they say gastric, gastric, ga. It depends on your experience and your practice. It means viewing the stomach. Gastroscope, it means there's a scope, this is the machine, and it's inside the, usually they put it in the mouth, and it has a camera, it has a light, the tip, the light, and goes down and sees if there is an ulcer maybe. This is a little bit longer than the other two. The other two, they were just root, they were just the suffix, and the vowel in between. Here we have double roots, multiple roots. We have two roots, elect, and we have card, or cardi. The I is part of the word. The I is part of the word. So elect and cardi. And you have at the end gram or graph. What's gram? Exactly. A report or just a figure, image, gram. Okay, so this gram or graph, some people they say the gram or graph, both are okay. So we start with a gram as the suffix, and then we go at the beginning, which is the electricity, yes, electricity. And then you have the cardi. Cardi means your heart. So there is something that you are recording related to your heart using electricity. And it's very known or well known in hospitals as ECG. So you have electro, cardi, and gram. Have a look. That's the suffix. Root 1, elect, which means electricity. And then to make it easy, smoother, add an O, electro, cardi, and then cardio. So this is how we break it down. Root 1, root 2, between root 1 and root 2, there is a combining vowel. And then at the end, there is the suffix. And between the suffix and root 2, there is another vowel. So we have two vowels here. Electrocardiogram. Electrocar, there's an R. Or electrocardiogram, like the British, cardiogram. The R disappears. There is no R. Listen.
Electrocardiogram. Electrocardiogram.
See, cardiogram. K-A-A and K-A-R. That's the Americans, and that's the British, whichever you like. When is the combining vowel dropped? Sometimes the combining vowel is not needed, and we don't need it. Why? Let's see why. You have gastric, see here. Look, here there is a root, which is gastr, which is your stomach. And then you have a suffix. We have 7 to 8 suffixes, like this one, ik, ak, ar, la, all of them. These 7 to 8, they have the same meaning, which is related to or pertaining to. It's an adjective. When you add these suffixes, the 7 or 8, this is one of them. Ik, I see, only ik, I see. When you add it, it means it becomes an adjective, and it means pertaining to or related to gastro. Okay, so we have gasr and we have ek. Usually, in the way I taught you, you have to add what? A vowel, which is O. So look, if we add O, what happens? Gastric. Then your mouth has to vibrate up and down. Gastric. But this is wrong. We have to get rid of one of the two vowels. So we have vowel O and we have the vowel I. So one of them has to go away. O, why? Because O is not part of any word. So we don't use it. We let the one in the suffix, which the suffix starts with, and its original letter, the I, we keep it, and the O, we don't need it. So instead of gastroic, it becomes gastric. Very simple, gastric. So not every time we need O, not every time. So that's one, that's an example. Cross the O. So combining vowel O is dropped, deleted. We got rid of it. Gastric, gastric. There's another one, cardi. Again, what is cardi? The heart. So cardi, and there is ak, another suffix, ac, ak, which means related to or pertaining to and makes the word adjective. What's an adjective? What's an adjective? Good. So here we can just put the letter, the vowel O, and it becomes cardioac. Cardioac. It's too long, yes? Your mouth is not going to feel rest in pronouncing this or comfortable. So we have to get rid of the vowel O. We don't need ourselves a vowel here. Why? Because there is the ak. So it becomes, and the I here is part of the word. The I, cardi, is part of the word. So look, cardioac, there is a vowel I, there is a vowel O, there is a vowel A. 3 vowels. And this makes your mouth twist, twisted mouth, and it becomes difficult to pronounce. Cardioac. So just cardiac, cardiac, cardiac. So the O, put it here. It's not good. Get rid of it. Then we have the entero or interior. What is entero? Intestine. Yes. There is the stomach, gas, and there is the entero, the intestines below. Okay. So we have interior. And we have itis. Itis is another suffix that means, very good. What's your name? Ryan? Layan. Very good, Layan. So we have itis. It means inflammation. And this is really a very common suffix. Very, very common. It describes the disease. Yes, enteritis, gastritis, appendicitis. Itis means inflammation of. Then we have here we have itis. And we should, according to the general rule, we should have an O. So it becomes enteroitis, enteroitis. Again, it becomes difficult and your mouth is twisted when you say this. Therefore, we don't need the O. We say instead of enteroitis, we say enteritis, enteritis. Or the Americans, they might say enteritis, whichever you like. So O, we don't need an O. So if you look here, the 3 X's in gastric, in cardiac, and in enteritis. What is the common here? There's something common here that makes us do not need the O. Get rid of the O. What is it? Layan? Well done. Well done, Layan. So when the suffix starts with the vowel, then you don't need the O, the other vowel. When the suffix, only the suffix. Okay? So the IC, ek, it starts with I, it's a vowel. The ak starts with an A, it's a vowel. And the I and the itis here starts with an I, then it's a vowel. So these are vowels at the beginning of each suffix we don't need the O. This is the rule. I have written this, enteritis. Combining vowel is dropped when suffix starts with the vowel. Put this here. That's another one, long one, multiple roots, double roots. We have gas, we have interior, and we have the itis. The itis. Itis is inflammation. We start with it. And then we go back to the gas. And again, Jamil, what is gas? Gas, stomach. Stomach. And interior, intestine. Intestine. So we have the gas and the stomach, the intestine, and we have the itis, inflammation of these three. We start usually with the end, itis, and then go back to the first root, gas. So gas, itis, go down, that's the first root, gas, and then we have to have the combining vowel to make things smoother, and then we have the interior. If you look here at gastroenteric, what do you see here? What's your name? Taqwa. Very good, Taqwa. So we have an O and we have an E. And according to what we've just said, that if you have two vowels, one of them or the O, we don't need. But here we keep them. Why? Because these are two roots. Two roots. Not a root and a suffix. It's two roots. Gasr and interior. Interior starts with an E, which is a vowel, but still we need the O. So we say gastroenterior. Gastroenterior. We don't say gastroenterior. Gastroenterior. It sounds better. Even it sounds better. Okay? So gastroenterior, because here we have two roots, we keep the vowels. We don't get rid of them. And then you have, at the same time, if you look here in this side, you have enteroitis. Enteroitis here, because the itis starts, which is the suffix, have started with an I, then we don't need the O. So please be careful here. We kept the O between the gastro and interior. We kept the O, but between interior and itis, we dropped the O. Here we kept the O, and here we dropped the O. Here we drop the O because it is a suffix that started with a vowel, so we don't need the O. And we kept the O despite the interior starts with an O because both of them are roots. So roots, we keep the O, the vowel. It doesn't matter at all. Okay? I think everything is going smooth as we like. And we are right on time. So combining vowel O is dropped. Combining vowel is kept. So combining vowel between root 1 and root 2 remains. Combining vowel between root 2 and the suffix dropped, deleted, missed, skipped, as you like.
Gastroenteritis.
The Americans, gastroenteritis or enteritis. The British, listen to the British.
Gastroenteritis.
Gastroenteritis. The T is very clear in the British. But the Americans, they like to play with the T, Gastroenteritis, you can have this, you can have this, depending on where you studied. Look, gastric or gastric. Here we added something before the gas. Prefix, something that comes before. Prefix. According to the rule which we already talked about, that we should have sub. Of course, we have to start with ik, IC, ik, which has a vowel, IC. And then there is start with the sub. It's not a root, it's a prefix. And usually, according to the general rule, we should add an O. So we say subogastric. That's the general rule. But that's not the way things go. This is, if you say sub-O, it's wrong. Between a prefix and the root, there is no vowel, no O's. Vowel in general, but O is the most commonly used vowel. So if you go down here, ik, go back to sub, becomes prefix, sub, and then gastric. Now we have two O's, and we have to get rid of the two O's. Have a look. Of course, sub means below, subcostal, subgastric, under and below. Gastric, stomach, and pertaining to the ik. Look, we have one O, and it's deleted because the suffix started with a vowel. And here, O, we don't need it also because no combining vowel between a prefix and a root. There is a combining vowel between a root and a suffix, but the prefix, no. No subgastric. Correctly, subgastric, subgastric. No combining vowel between the prefix and a root. Subgastric.
Subgastric.
See, the Americans. Even they stress the gas. Subgastric. Subgastric. You know, there is in English, there is the phonetics, the music of the word. When we say, for instance, inflammation, we stress inflammation. This. So, subgastric. I didn't find subgastric. Retrogastric. Look, this is retro here. This is a suffix or prefix? Prefix. Okay. And retro. Is it retro or retro? It's retro. This is the word. Original. The O here is original. Don't tell me that this is a prefix and we have to delete the O. Don't tell me this. Why? Because the O here is part of the word. It's part of the word. So retro, according to the rule, we say retro O and another O. But according to the rule itself, we shouldn't have a vowel or an O between prefix and a root. And what you are seeing here, the O you are seeing here, it's not a vowel, it's a vowel, but it's part of the word originally. The word is not retro, the word is retro. So gastro, ek. So I see the beginning, which means pertaining to. Retro means back, retro, behind and back, yes, exactly. And then gastro means your stomach. And there is a no, which we don't need because the suffix starts with a vowel. And there is a no here, which also we don't need because between the suffix, the prefix and the root, there is no O. And the O you are seeing here, it's part of the word. So sometimes in every language, there is the rule and the law and the rule in the language, the grammar, and there is the exception. It happens in every language. So we have retrogastric, see? Prefixes ending with an original vowel are used as is. They are kept. Used as is, they are kept. Example, peri, perianum, brady. That's the Y. I told you the Y can become, sometimes people consider it as a vowel. So brady, bradycardia. They don't remove the Y because brady, the Y is part of it, part of the word, original part. Okay, so look here. Retrogastric. See, listen. Retrogastric. Again, listen.
Retrogastric.
See, retrogastric. Just, this is the last slide. Rules of thumb. Rules of thumb, general rules. That's thumb. Rules of thumb means general rules. Reading meaning of medical term from suffix at the end, and then back to the beginning, either the prefix or the root, and then across. That's how you read it, and that's how you break it down or analyze it. 1. 2. Drop combining vowel between suffix that starts with a vowel. Vowels never meet between root and suffix only. Ik, you don't say oik, we say ik, cardiac. Okay. 3rd, keep combining vowel between roots, root 1 and root 2, even if the second root starts with a vowel. Vowels meet. Between roots, vowels meet. Between root and suffix, vowel never meet. Between prefix Underwood, there is no vowel from the first place, originally. Ladies, any question? Gentlemen, any question? No questions? See you tomorrow.